a ship, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not if I sink or swim.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs a sea for an acre of barren ground?
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. Oh, I have suffered with those I saw suffer.
Tell your piteous hearts there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am.
More to know never did meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort, sit down, for thou must now know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped.
The hour's now come, obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? Thou wast not out 3 years old.
'Tis far off. Had I not once 4 or 5 women that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. 12 years since, Miranda, thy father was the Duke of Milan, and thou his only heir.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou say'st, we were heaved thence, but blessedly holp hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds. Please you, farther.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, he whom next thyself of all the world I loved. The government I cast upon my brother and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle Dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, in my false brother awaked an evil nature. Being thus lorded, he did believe he was indeed the Duke. Hence, dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
Me, poor man. My library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederates with the King of Naples.
Oh, the heavens!
The King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, whereon a treacherous army levied. One midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Dear, they durst not set a mark so bloody on the business. They hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat. The very rats instinctively had quit it. There they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the wind's pity.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that did preserve me.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries. He furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man!
Sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princesses can have.
I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm?
By accident, most strange, bountiful fortune. Now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions, thou art inclined to sleep. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article I boarded the kingship, I flamed amazement and burned in many places. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit.
The king's son, Ferdinand, was the first man that leapt, cried, hell is empty and all the devils are here.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished, as thou badest me. In troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs.
Say how thou hast disposed and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in the harbor is the king's ship, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who with a charm I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, they all have met again and are upon the Mediterranean, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work.
Is there more toil? Let me remember thee what thou hast promised.
How now, moody? What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty! I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bade me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou liest, malignant thing! The foul witch Sycorax, hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible from Argier. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou wast then her servant, and for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
Oh, that's my noble master. What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea, be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Caliban, thou earth, thou, come forth, I say. Fine apparition. Hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth.
A southwest blow on ye and blister you all o'er.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up.
This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother. When thou camest first, thou madest much of me, would give me waters with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. Here you stymie in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh ho! Oh ho! What had been done? Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, I took pains to make thee speak when thou didst not know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish.
You taught me language, and my profit in is, I know how to curse. The Red Plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hagseed hence! Fetch us in fuel and be quick. If thou neglect'st or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps.
No, pray thee. I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my damned god Setibos and make a vassal of him.
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes.
What is't? A spirit? It carries a brave form.
No, wench, it eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend. Oh, you wonder, be you maid or no?
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
The best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes beheld the king my father wrecked.
Alack, for mercy!
All his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
The Duke of Milan?
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
They are both in either's powers. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple.
Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink.
I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him.
Put thy sword up, traitor, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Sir, have pity.
Silence! Thou thinkst there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban.
I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid.
It works. Follow me. Thou shalt be free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause of joy for the miracle. I mean our preservation. Few in millions can speak like us.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir, when every grief is entertained, that's offered comes to the entertainer.
$1.
Dollar comes to him indeed.
You've taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
I prithee, spare.
Which of here Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seems to be deserted.
Ha ha! So you're paid.
It must be needs of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance. The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
Here is everything advantageous to life. Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afrique, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Claribel, to the king of Tunis.
We prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since Widow Dado's time.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there. For coming thence, my son is lost. Oh, thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the searchers under him and ride upon their backs. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
We have lost your son, I fear, forever. The fault's your own.
So's the dearest. Oh, the loss.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness.
Very well.
It is foul weather it is all, good sir, when you are cloudy. Had I plantation of this isle, my lord, and were the king on't, what would I do?
'Scape being drunk for want of wine.
No kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service none. No use of metal, corn, wine, or oil, no occupation, all men idle, all. And women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on't.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
God save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo!
And do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost tuck nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they are always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy.
What? Also soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves shut up my thoughts.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
Worthy Sebastian, the occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
Thou speaks out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say?
Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
How shall that Claribel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do. I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and look how well my garments sit upon me.
But for your conscience?
Aye, sir, where lies that? I feel not this deity in my bosom. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which he's now like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou's got Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies to keep them living.
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels preserve the king.
Why? How now? Why are you drawn?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon my honor, sir, I heard a humming. which did awake me. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Prospero, my lord shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, vins, flats, on Prosperfall and make him by inch-meal a disease. No! Now, no! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A strange fish. Legs like a man and his fins like arms? This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again! My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There's no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows.
I shall no more to see. Here shall I die ashore.
This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort.
The master, the swabber, the bosun and I, the gunner and his mate.
Do not torment me. Oh!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs.
The spirit torments me. Oh!
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame, he's a present for any emperor ever shot on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
Aw, he's in a fit now. He shall taste my bottle. If ye have never drunk wine afore, we'll go near to remove his fit.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt none.
Come on your way, open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly.
I should know that voice. But he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices? A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and detract.
Stefano!
Mercy, mercy! This is a devil and no monster! I will leave him!
Be not afeard. I'm thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. How camest thou be the sage of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stefano?
Oh, prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant. Oh.
That's a brave god and bear celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
Swum ashore, man, like a duck. Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out o' the moon, I do assure thee.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
Come on then, down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster.
Come, kiss.
A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here!
Farewell, farewell.
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more games, I'll make full fish. No patchet firing, happy firing. Nor scrape church nor wash dish. Man bag Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom. Farewell, master, farewell, farewell. No more games, I'll make full fish. No patchet firing, happy firing. Nor scrape church nor wash dish. Bad bag Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom.
This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's craft, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor.
Alas, now, pray you, work not so hard. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while.
No, precious creature, I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by. I do beseech you, what is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda, for several virtues have I like several women, but you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass, mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father.
Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. For your sake am I this patient man.
Do you love me?
I beyond all limit of what else in the world do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. I am your wife, if you will marry me.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I with a heart as willing as bondage ere of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in't. And now farewell till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
All to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
Servant monster, drink to me!
They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brain like us, the state daughters.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant monster or my standard.
Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Oh, how he mocks me. Bites him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree.
I thank my noble lord. As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee.
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more, I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
I say, by sorcery he got this isle. If thy greatness will revenge it on him, thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest!
Thou scurvy patch! I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows.
Trinculo! Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand, I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? What did I? I did nothing.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest!
Did I so? Take thou that! And that! And that!
I did not give the lie! The devil take your fingers!
Beat him enough after a little time, I'll beat him too.
Come, proceed.
'Tis a custom with them. In the afternoon to sleep, there thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I do, and the most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax my dam, and she as far surpasseth Sycorax.
Ooh, is it so brave a lass?
Aye, lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster! I will kill this man, and his daughter and I will be king and queen. And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroy.
Excellent.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry, I'm full of pleasure.
What is this same?
Oh, forgive me my sins.
Mercy upon us!
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I!
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me that, when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing!
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
By'r Lakin, I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache.
O Lord, sit down and rest. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous sweet music. If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders who, though they are of monstrous shape, yet note, their manners are more gentle kind than of our human generation you shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
They vanish strangely.
No matter, since they have left their feast behind, for we have stomachs. Wilt please you taste of what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny, the never-severed sea, hath caused to belch up you. And on this island, where men do not inhabit, you amongst men be most unfit to live. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds or with reluctant and stabs kill the still poisoned waters. Your swords are now too massive for your strength. You 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft. Lingering perdition worse than any death can be at once shall step by step attend you and your ways.
They are now in my power, and in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned.
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the thunder pronounced the name of Prosper. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
But one fiend at a time. I'll fight their legion door.
I'll be thy second.
All 3 of them are desperate. Their great guilt like poison given to work a great time after. Now gents to bite the spirits. I do beseech you that are of suppler joints, follow them swiftly.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here 1/3 of mine own life. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. O Ferdinand, thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it.
Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition, worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may be ministered, barren hate and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed.
The murkiest den, the most opportune place shall never melt mine honor into lust.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel?
What would my good master? Here I am.
Go bring the rabble, or whom I give thee power. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art.
Before you can say come and go and breathe twice. I met her deity, cutting the clouds, who is pathless and her son, till
bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
You nymphs called naiads of the wandering brooks, come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late.
Forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done! Avoid no more.
Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve, and, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought, Ariel.
What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my governor.
Where didst thou leave these varlets?
At last I left them with the filthy magical pool beyond your cell.
This was well done, my bird. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither.
I go.
A devil, and born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. Come, hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly. We now are near his cell.
Monster! Your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than play the jack with us!
Monster! I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine!
Do you hear, monster? if I should take a displeasure against you, look you...
Good, my lord. Be patient.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool.
For the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. This is the mouth of a cell.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stephano, look what a wardrobe here is for thee.
Let it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Put off that gown. Tranquillo, by this hand, I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage, let alone and do the murder first?
Be you quiet, monster.
We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers. Help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to, carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
Fury! There! Tyrants there! Hark! Hark!
Hark! They roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. Now does my project gather to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time my word be set, our work should cease.
I did say so. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and's followers?
Confined together, all prisoners, sir. The good old Lord Gonzalo, his tears went down his beard like winter drops from the leaves of the reeds. Your charms are strong in your bosom, that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
Offensive, sir.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back. Weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azure vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and lifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong base promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oaked and led them forth by my so potent art. This rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. There stand, for you are spell stopped. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal sir to him you followest, I will pay thy graces home both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In the cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bedstack I do fly. After sun up merrily, 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 shall I live now under the blossom that hangs on the
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. So... To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches. Enforce them to this place.
Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan Prospero, and to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
I do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs, but how should Prospero be living and be here?
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all! But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could here justify you traitors. For you, most wicked sir, I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee.
How thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were wrecked upon the shore, where I have lost my dear son Ferdinand. Irreparable's the loss, and patience says is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help. I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh, heavens, that they were both living in Naples, the king and queen there. When did you lose your daughter?
In the last Tempest. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants, and subjects none abroad. Pray you, look in.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
A most high miracle.
Though the scenes threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Arise, and say how thou hast camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that has such people in it!
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan.
Oh, how oddly it will sound that I have to must ask my child.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with the heaviness that's gone.
Look down, you God, and on this couple drop a blessed crown. Oh, look, sir, there's more of us. What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next our ship is yarn bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all the service have I done since I went?
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events.
We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all clapped under hatches. Even now, with strange and several noises, we are awakened straightway at liberty.
We were freshly beheld, your royal, good, and gallant ship.
This is as strange a maze as airmen try.
My liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. I'll resolve you. Till when, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Spirit, set Caliban and his companions free. There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
My head. Coraggio, bully monster! Coraggio!
Oh, if these be true spies, which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Setibos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is.
Ha! What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
These three have robbed me, and this demi-devil had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness I acknowledge mine.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
Where had he wine?
And Trinculo's reeling ripe.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a cramp.
This is as strange a thing as e'er will I look on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape.
What a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god!
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, and in the morn I'll bring you to your ship and so to Naples.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas. My Ariel, be free, and fare thou well. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all fault. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.